What is going on, X community? Exostomp here, and today, people, we're going to be going over a draft analysis for the EDL. So this time around, we're doing basically an RU / tier 3 and below, mainly though RU and below, and it's pretty interesting. We did get a pretty good team here, and I will go over what we have right now. So for our first pick, we were able to get Slowking. So the bigger picks that we wanted were gone fairly quickly. That being, well, okay, there was a few, and they were picked very quickly. So it was mainly the Heracross I wanted to try out. Porygon Z, of course, was pretty scary as well. And I think there was one other, but I can't really think off the top of my head. May have been like Meloetta. But yeah, we were looking at Surfetched, and I decided on just going with Slowking instead. The reason really is because Slowking is super nice with Pivot. Teleport Regenerator is super good. If you have a really offensive team, or a team that hits super hard, and you can teleport into them pretty freely, that's awesome. So the reason we went with Slowking is because it's super nice for pivot, and we were able to, of course, build into it pretty nicely, and we'll go over that soon. But so this is gonna be like our main Spadef tank. It can also be like max defense, max HP, and be able to really take both sides, which is nice. Its move pool is great. If you guys don't know, I'm a person that if a Pokemon doesn't have a lot of moves in its move pool that they can use pretty successfully, I probably won't use them. Probably won't at least enjoy using them. So yeah, Slowking has a lot. It has Dragon Tail, which is always nice for like an AV set. It can go like physical. It has a lot of physical moves as well. It's got Fire Blast, it's got Ice Beam. I think it has T-Wave, which is annoying. Of course, you said Teleport like before. And yeah, so it has Slack Off, Reliable Recovery. It's got basically everything. And it was at 17 points, not 18, which was crazy. I had it at 18, and people voted it down to 17. Now, I understand, like, it's not a fast Pokemon. It's not the scariest Pokemon in the world, so I guess I understand it. But pivot-wise, it's probably the best water type in the format. At least defensively. Of course, you have Swampert, you got Vaporeon in here as well. So both are pretty good at pivot now with Flip Turn, but I still think Teleport is the best pivot in the game. So, alright, moving on. We got Wheezing. So we grabbed Galarian Wheezing because it is a fairy type, and I wanted a really good defensive fairy type that works very well with Slowking. It's able to defog, which is great. I love reliable defoggers, and then it's good on the defensive side. So Wheezing plus Slowking is so good on the defensive side that there's not much that can really break both reliably. And I say that because like the things that Wheezing is weak to, Slowking resists. So it's really nice, and then vice versa with Wheezing. So I like that combo pretty well. And if people do know, I do like Wheezing in lower tiers. If like it's a UU draft, I usually try to grab it just because Wheezing is super reliable. So it's got Aromatherapy. We said Defog like before. It's got a lot of moves in its move pool, like I said before. It could be an attacker or a special attacker. Surprisingly, it has more attack, which I wasn't sure about from before. But yeah, it's got Play Rough, which is nice. Memento and T-Bolt. Toxic Spikes as well, which is really nice. And so yeah, I really like Wheezing, and I definitely can't wait to use it with Slowking. So then topping this off, I was like, okay, I have a defensive core, pretty reliable defensive core, so let me try to grab a really strong physical attacker. So that's why I grabbed Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum is really nice. This thing basically has no real switch-ins. If you go like Rock Head Smash, yeah, 150 base power, no recoil because of Rockhead, and its stab is hitting like a truck, okay? At 121 attack, yeah, it's hitting like a truck. Speed is 71, so, you know, it's not the best. It does have Dragon Dance, which definitely helps with that. It has close combat now, which is great. It's got Play Rough, which is also really good. It's got Psychic Fang, so it does have some decent moves now that it can use. And it does have Rock, so I guess if I want to make it defensive, I could. It probably won't come like that often if it's defensive, because like it's hitting like a truck. You're gonna want to hit things really hard with this thing. So yeah, so we grabbed that as our physical offense. Then Gligar was still there, so I wanted Gligar. Again, Gligar plus Slowking works super well. Gligar is weak to water and ice, which Slowking resists, like I said before. Slowking just sort of helps out this team really reliably, and I knew that if I didn't grab it round one, it would go, so I wanted to grab that. It's able to be immune to poison, which is awesome. Don't really know if it necessarily matters because you have Wheezing with Aromatherapy as well as its poison type, so don't really know if that matters, but Hypercutter is okay as well. It has Defog and Rocks, so again, another Defogger / Rocker, which is always nice. Has some good moves, not cleric moves. It has good support moves with like Knockoff and U-Turn, and like I said, Defog, Stealth Rock, and Taunt is really nice. Tailwind is also pretty good. Could even be a physical attacker, even with 75 attack. It does have Swords Dance. So yeah, this thing, it's mainly going to be here to help out the Wheezing and the Slowking. This is going to be like the main trio of defensive mons that I have, and then you guys will see basically all the rest are helping with offense or offensive, so you guys will see. So yeah, let's move on. Alolan Raichu. I know, everyone that knows me knows that I love terrain. I've used Rillaboom in the past, and I love Rillaboom. I've used Electric Terrain a ton. In fact, I think Electric Terrain is probably my favorite. And Raichu is definitely going up in the ranks in terms of like one of my favorites. I mean, look, it got Rising Voltage. It has an ability that works as Electric Terrain. Why would you not run Electric Terrain with the Lolichu? So I grabbed the Lolichu mainly because Twee grabbed Pink Urchin, and Pink Urchin plus Raichu is super annoying in low tier, and I was thinking, well, I'll grab Raichu because I wanted it anyways, and it has a good moveset, so I was like, I don't really care if I don't get terrain, but it would be nice if I did. And so yeah, we'll go over it once we get to it, but yeah, Raichu, super nice, with 110 speed. This thing's gonna be outspeeding a lot of the mons in the game. So we got, and then if I get Electric Terrain, this thing is outspeeding everything. So that's gonna be fun. We have some really good moves. It's move pool. We got, of course, the Rising Voltage. We have Grass Knot. We have, and then we could even be Attack, right? Because 85 attack's not bad. We could be like Play Rough or Focus Punch, even Iron Tail Knockoff. It's got Nasty Plot, Nuzzle, Psychic Psyshock, Teleport if you want to, teleport and Volt Switch, whichever one you want to do. It even has Wish. This thing learns so many moves. I like it. I mean, honestly, if you think about it like this, if Raichu is like maybe a few points more in a point draft over Jolteon, and there's no hidden power, you grab Raichu, because Jolteon has like Shadow Ball as its other move that it can use that isn't stab, and I guess like Hyper Voice. Raichu has so many more, and it's able to use Electric Terrain pretty well. So yeah, I don't know, I really like Raichu, so I can't wait to use it in this draft, especially in low tier. So Magmortar, again, another mon that hits really hard on the special attack side. With Flame Body, it can be defensive as well, can burn some things. Vital Spirit makes it so that, come in on a you know, I guess a fungus or something that has spore hypnosis and can take it, and you know, it'll only last basically one turn, which is nice. Or not one turn, it can't fall asleep, so it won't last anything. So again, really good moves in its move pool. I don't know why I'm gonna keep saying it, but I'll just keep scrolling through the moves while I talk about it. Yeah, it could be good physically and physically and specially and defensively and special defensively. I mean, look, it's got Scorching Sands now, which is super nice to hit those other fire types. And it has Teleport. So yeah, my water got a pretty decent buff this gen, and I've never used it in draft, so I can't wait to use it. Alright, Escavalier. Escavalier, good defensively on both sides, as well as it hits like a truck. Again, another mon that just hits like a truck. It could be really well with Trick Room, Teleport, Slowking, because of that 20 speed, and that 135 attack could be hitting really well. It's got Close Combat, it's got Drill Run, it has, what else does it have? Iron Head, Knockoff, Mega Horn, Poison Jab, Razor Shell. I didn't even know this thing had Razor Shell, but it has that. You know, even Swords Dance. So, yeah, could be interesting. Definitely a mon that I do want to try out, because I think I've used it maybe once. I don't even remember using it, so this is going to be an interesting mon to use. And with Shell Armor plus Overcoat, you know, this is a really good mon. So I definitely can't wait to use this thing. Alright, Pink Urchin. We traded Thwacky for Pink Urchin. We had a pretty big ground weakness, so I grabbed Thwacky mainly because I wanted to get some sort of terrain, and I thought grassy terrain would work pretty well if I have a lot of ground weaknesses. Turns out he wanted to trade his Thwacky, or his Pink Urchin, for my Thwacky, because he grabbed 2 water types, and one was like an Empoleon, so that'll be pretty nice with like Earthquake. And he thought that grassy terrain would work better with his team in general, which I do agree. I think it would work better, and so that's why we traded. And yeah, now I have a pretty damn scary team offensively and defensively with some ones. So this thing's stats it's not the best, honestly. It's probably pretty all around okay, but with 15 speed, you know, it could be good in Trick Room. I don't think I'm ever gonna bring Trick Room with it, but because it's either gonna be setting up spikes and toxic spikes or dying, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We have Recover, which is nice. We got, of course, Rising Voltage, which was Electric Surge. We got Sucker Punch for priority. Zing Zap, even though it's never going to be really outspeeding anything. Spikes and Toxic Spikes. It even has coverage for those ground types with Scald, Surf, and even Hydro Pump and Liquidation. So it's got some coverage here and there that it can switch it up a few. But the main reason I grabbed it is for Electric Surge for Raichu. There's no real reason besides that. So yeah, let's move on. We grabbed Sceptile. Sceptile was our grass type of choice. We grabbed it because it has Unburden. Unburden makes it so that it can proc its Electric Seed and outspeed the whole, just every single mon in the game. In this tier, rather. So, even with like not a lot of speed investment, it can outspeed everything, which is great. So, it's got Swords Dance, so it can Swords Dance. It could be a spec set, even if you don't if you don't think you need Unburden. It could be a spec set with Leaf. What's it called? Leaf Storm. That is Dragon Dance. I mean, it's 120 base speed. I don't know if I'm ever running Dragon Dance, but it's there. It's got Drain Punch, Earthquake. You know, it's got a lot of priority. Not priority. Well, I guess it has Quick Attack, but it's got a lot of moves, and yeah, it's a pretty solid mon. I definitely wanted to try it out because, again, this is another mon that I've never used in drafts. I've used Mega Sceptile, but not regular Sceptile, and it's an interesting mon, so I definitely wanted to use it. So yeah. Moving on here, we got Masquerain, another mon that helps us out with those ground types. So we mainly grabbed Masquerain because I wanted a Sticky Webber with Tyrantrum. I think that would have been great. And then also because I had that ground weakness that I wanted to sort of patch up, so Masquerain helps with that. We have heavy duty boots that can be slapped on this thing, so it won't take any stealth rocks damage, which is nice. Again, so many moves in this move pool, but we'll just go over a few here. Defog is great for it. Sticky Web, of course, is great for it. Quiver Dance is really great with all these moves. Haze is alright. What else? It's got Scald. It's got Stun Spore. So, yeah, it's got a decent amount of moves. Alright. Yeah, and actually its stats are pretty decent too. With 80 base speed, it's not the worst. If you get to +1 with Quiver Dance, that's always nice. And then 100 special attack is definitely not bad either. So yeah, moving on for our last Pokemon, we have Perugly. We grab Perugly because it helps us out with our speed tiers. Right now, we don't have too many fast mons besides like Sceptile and Raichu. So I wanted to grab Perugly. Defiant makes it so that if we set up terrain and they want to get rid of it, or spikes or anything like that, if they want to sort of try to counter Pink Urchin and they bring Defog, Perugly is going to like that and get the +2, so that's nice. It has some really cool sets, and you, again, for people that know me, I do like Perugly. It has Fake Out Last Resort, just like Ambipom, which is nice. It has... what else does it have? It has Knockoff. It's got Knockoff and U-Turn, which I feel like a lot of mons should have, because Knockoff and U-Turn is great. Play Rough. It's got Stomping Tantrum, Sucker Punch, Taunt even. What else? And the worst part about it is that I can't use Frustration or Return. I have to use like Body Slam or Facade as my normal type stab, which is a little annoying, but it's not the worst thing, because like Body Slam is really nice with the para, so maybe we'll get lucky there. But yeah, I do really like this Pokemon. Can also be a defensive variant with like Thick Fat, and yeah, I don't know. I like this one. Could be like an AV set, like I said, with Thick Fat. Come in on Freeze Dries for the Slowbro and the Gligar, and you know, do something. Look, it's a good mon, right? It's a good mon. But yeah, all in all, my main issues with this is the amount of rockers that I have. The amount of rockers is 2, being Gligar and Tyrantrum, and Tyrantrum's never gonna want to run rocks. Well, not a lot at least. And Gligar I probably don't want to run in every single game. And then defoggers are Wheezing, which is reliable, Gligar, which is reliable, but if I'm running rocks on it, it's a little weird. And then Masquerain, which if it's running webs, again, it's a little weird. So I don't have much in terms of moves that I can switch it up for, like hazard removal, but hazards I have a decent amount besides rocks. Let's see, anything else? I guess my speed tiers. Speed tiers, I tried to patch it up with Perugly, but my speed gap is between Gligar, which is 85, and Raichu, which is 110, which is really big. So, I mean, look, I could patch it up with Scarves and stuff, so it's not the biggest deal, but it definitely is something to note. But yeah, other than that, I really like my team. I can run a ton of different sets every week, and I have 2 terrains technically with Misty Surge. You know, I could run Misty Surge Tyrantrum and be able to take those Dragon type hits a lot better. And I won't be able to get burned or anything like that, so, or paralyzed for that matter. So if I'm like a DD set, you know, could be threatening. So I don't have to run electric terrain every single week, but I will have fun with that most weeks. But yeah, with that out of the way, guys, that is our draft analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, of course, leave a like. And yeah, we're versing week 1 solo, so that's gonna be fun. So yeah, I guess I will see you all next time. Peace.